whole life, we're not just honest with our words. We can trust God to teach us the truth that we are to live out with our whole life.
Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. Life will get crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. I wanna live each day like anything can happen. Can hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge, every test. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. Life will get crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. Walk through the valley, climb mountains high. Wherever you go, Lord, you are good. Can't hold me back now, I'm gonna fly. Wherever we go, Lord, you are good. I wanna live each day like anything can happen. Can hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge, every test. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. Life will get crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. I'm trusting you, God, you are good.
Hello, planet Earth. It's me, Jason, broadcasting live from the moon. You know, a lot of people didn't think I would make it all the way up here, and they would be right, because it's just a green screen. I'm still on Earth in Burnsville. But you know what? I love dressing up like other people and pretending to be, I don't know, someone cool. Don't you? Like, I love funny costumes. Putting myself into crazy green screen background environments like this one. It's, I don't know, out of this world. Because I'm an astronaut. Anyway, well, today we're getting ready to talk about what it's like to live our lives without masks. We're talking about living with integrity. Integrity. Choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. Now, living with integrity is harder than it looks. There are so many reasons to pretend to be someone or act like someone that you're not. I mean, you may want people to think you're funny. So, how about this one? Did you ever hear the one about the bee? Huh? The bee? What's the bee use to style his hair? Huh? Anybody? Anybody? A honeycomb. Woo! Yep. You may want people to think you're a super athlete. 24, 25, 26. Ooh, look, Vikings scored. 28, 29. Or maybe you just want other kids to think you're cool. See what I mean? It isn't always easy to be yourself, to live with integrity. In today's story, we'll meet a couple of guys who were under a lot of pressure to be like everybody else. We'll find out if they were able to stay true to who God made them to be. In the meantime, I'll be back in a minute. Because it's the moon. Oh.
For a Bible verse this month, we're talking about integrity. Proverbs 10:9 says this: "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out." What does it mean to walk in integrity? Well, it's like how we live our lives, that's our walk. And so how we live our lives, and if we live our lives with integrity, all right, we can walk securely. So let's take a look at what integrity means. So first of all, integrity is a really good word. That's what we're talking about it all this month. And integrity is really being honest in what we say, being reliable in what we do, and then we can be trusted with that, okay? So it's being honest in the things that we say, and then doing the things that we say we're gonna do, we can be trusted. And so it says, whoever walks with integrity walks securely. Now, that's another big word. Securely means protected, being safe. It's walking in a way that avoids someone or something being harmed by risk, by danger, or by threat. Think of it like a seatbelt. When we put it on in the car, we secure the seatbelt, and that helps keep us safe. So when we walk with integrity, we can walk securely. We can walk more safely. But when we take a crooked path, we will be found out. So when we talk about like a crooked path, that means doing things that maybe aren't so great. Kind of like this. It's like kind of saying some things that aren't true, doing some things that you shouldn't do. In fact, crooked being doing bad things. We have the opportunity to say, you know what? When we walk down life's path, we can walk with integrity. When we come to the fork in the road, we say, we're not going to walk down this crooked path. We're going to take the right path. And that's the path of integrity. So let's learn this Bible verse ditty.
Our Bible verse for this month is found in Proverbs 10:9. Here we go. Whoever walks with integrity walks securely, walks securely. Whoever takes crooked paths will be found out, will be found out. Whoever walks with integrity walks securely, walks securely. But whoever takes crooked paths will be found out, will be found out. Whoever walks with integrity walks securely, walks securely. But whoever takes crooked paths will be found out, will be found out. It's important to be truthful with your whole life. That's what integrity is.
Oh, hi everyone! Do you smell something absolutely delicious? It smells like all my favorite treats. Oh, I think I found it. It must be this bag right here. This must be Swen's dinner. I can smell fries and cheese and pickles. Oh, it's been hours since I ate lunch and I am absolutely starving. There doesn't seem to be anyone around here right now. And this is just sitting here getting cold. If I ate it, or maybe just some of the fries, would that be so bad? I do have my healthy snack that I brought here to eat, but that smells so delicious. I need some help deciding, but I know a story from the Bible that might help me figure out what to do. This is a story about a guy named Daniel. You might remember Daniel from a little adventure he had in the lion's den. Yep, this is the same Daniel. But this part of his story happened many years earlier. When Daniel was pretty young, maybe just a teenager, the king of Babylon conquered Judah, where Daniel lived. The king's name was King Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar did not respect God or God's people, the Israelites. The king just took whatever he wanted from the Israelites. In fact, to make sure that they wouldn't have a strong army to rise up against him, the king even took some of their strong young people to come and live with him in Babylon. Now, Daniel was one of the young Israelites that Nebuchadnezzar kidnapped, along with 3 of his friends. When they arrived in Babylon, the king tried everything he could think of to make Daniel and his friends forget all about being Israelites. He made them learn to speak the Babylonian language. He made them wear Babylonian clothes. He even gave them new names.
Tut-tut. Those wishy-washy Hebrew names just won't do. You need new ones.
New what?
Names. Let's see. Daniel, we'll call you Belteshazzar. And you three will be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Are those names, or is he just sneezing?
You'll learn our language, of course. And all the Babylonian writings?
Now, I know how angry I would be if someone told me I had to leave my home and wear different clothes that they picked out and even change my name. But Daniel and his friends knew they didn't have much of a choice, so they just made the best of it. But then they got to the biggest challenge of all, the one that tested their integrity. Nebuchadnezzar also told them that they had to eat Babylonian food. That was a big problem because back home, Israelites had very strict rules about which foods were good to eat and which were not. The Israelites carefully followed those rules to show their respect for God. They trusted God to help them to know which foods would make them stronger and which foods could hurt them. Daniel and his friends knew that the king's fancy food didn't follow those important rules, so they had to make a decision. They wanted to keep following God's rules no matter what. But that wasn't going to be easy. The king would be furious if they didn't follow his orders. Plus, the king's Babylonian food was really special. It probably looked so new and adventurous and smelled so magically delicious. And it probably had deep fried cheese curds. But plus, if they didn't eat it, they would have nothing to eat and they might starve. Besides, there were no other Israelites there to see them eat these wrong foods. So, would it really be that bad if they broke God's rules just this once when nobody who knew the rules would even see it happen? Well, Daniel and his friends came up with a plan.
Our new names and training are one thing, but if we eat this food, it's like we're saying we're okay with false gods.
But we gotta eat something, man.
We can ask for different food, simple stuff that hasn't been offered to the false gods.
That chocolate cake! Abednego! Okay.
They made a deal with the king's servant who brought the food. They said, please, for 10 days, just bring us some water and whatever leftover vegetables you've got. Now the guard was very worried because he knew he'd be in big trouble if they looked weak and hungry when the 10 days were over.
The king is my master. He's decided what you must eat and drink. What if you don't eat this and he sees you looking worse than the other young men? He might kill me.
But the servant agreed. And you know what? After 10 days, because they had chosen to follow God's laws and eat the foods that God provided to keep their bodies strong, all 4 of them actually looked stronger and healthier than the Babylonians, who'd been feasting on the king's fancy junk foods for years.
What? You've been eating rabbit food, but you look even better fed than the others.
And it wasn't just their bodies that were stronger. Their minds were strong too. They became trusted advisors to the king, and for a long time, nobody tried to tell them that they couldn't follow God's laws anymore. Well, that story reminds me that I want to be like Daniel and his friends. I want to have integrity, to be truthful with my whole life. And the truth is, even if nobody would know it was me that ate some of Swen's fries, it's not my food, and God already provided good things to make me strong. Let's use Daniel's story to help us remember to do the right thing, even when it feels easier to do something not so right. Carrot sticks, anyone? Anybody have some ranch or cheese dip or?
Dear God, thank you so much for the example of Daniel and his friends. Thank you that they showed us that we can do what's right even when no one's looking. Give us the strength to live with that kind of integrity. Help us live honestly and tell the truth so we can show other people who you are and what you're like. We love you, Lord. Amen.
Integrity. Choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. Yep, that's the virtue for this month. And that is a direct character of God, as God wants us to be people of integrity. And this particular week we're talking about being truthful with our whole life. Pretty much everything you say and do. Now, to bring it home, parents, we are inviting you to go to our website and download the Family Guide that has all sorts of stuff to help bring the concept of integrity home to you and your family. This particular week, there's a game called Hungry Hungry Kiddo. It's kind of a version of Hungry Hippo. And download it, play it with your family, and talk about what it means to be people of integrity. Now, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. And all God's kiddos said, thanks be to God. Make it a great week.